I didn't want to get in the ice bath this morning. Everything was telling me not to get in it. That never changes. But, the ice bath for me, I know about the physical benefits. So that obviously means a lot to me. But really for me, it's the mental.
Yeah.
If I give into that today and I go, oh, you know what? You did it yesterday. Just ease off today, I might then do that. Circumstances might not allow me to do that tomorrow.
It may spill into 2 days, 3 days,
and
a
then
week.
Once you do that, we are such a creature of habit. We become who we were yesterday, the day before. You do it once.
Yep.
Okay, that's an isolated event. You do it twice, we start to build the process.
So this is where you've almost read my next question.
All right.
Because I was going to say, how does when you've taken this person to that realization, or people to that realization, how does the person and how do you effect lasting change? You talk about getting in the ice bath this morning. You did it again. You've gone in, even though you say, no, I don't want to do it, because that's your discipline.
Yeah.
So how does effective lasting change, what is the advice you could give to listeners, viewers, saying, all right, well, no, I get it now. I've got to do that to make a change. Let's say it's quitting alcohol, right?
Yeah.
In order to stay off alcohol forever, you've got to make, firstly, a choice, commitment, and be bloody disciplined, especially if you're addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's
First of all, I say the thing with everything is, what's your why? If you haven't got a why, then you're gonna be back to where you were yesterday. You've got to have a strong why. It's like if I'm going to say I'm going to stop coffee, why? I've got to have a why. I've got to know the science of why I would give up coffee. Otherwise, I'm not going to bother doing it. If I'm going to give up alcohol, I've got to go through the process of understand why. I've got to create a strong why,
right,
of why that's not, for me, alcohol, destruction, mayhem, upsetting other people, it was a no-brainer. It was the elephant in the room.
They say with a why as well, Ollie, you need to ask the why 5 times to get to the root. That's something Simon Sinek writes a lot about, start with why, but then so it's not just one why.
Yeah.
So for example, let's take alcohol. I shouldn't drink anymore. I haven't drank, as you know, I haven't drank for almost 10 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. My choice, because again, it was destructive. It was a shit show, and I was self-destroying myself and hurting people around me. Not good. So when I said why, they were lame at first. The why, the first why was pretty lame.
Yeah,
to be honest. But then when I kept drilling myself, that I think it was the 5th why that was like, well, that's a no-brainer then. Fuck it, just stop it.
You know what? I've done something I actually did an exercise in my book, Battle Ready. It's a call to action, that book, but that's really about that process in the house. But basically, I did a thing called the purpose pyramid. So for those that can't see, I'm drawing a pyramid on the table. You put your subject matter in the center of that pyramid, right? So that could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be anything that's dominating some of your time that you start to question, why am I doing this? And that's the first thing you've got to, it's awareness, isn't it? Awareness is the key. If you're not aware of these things, you just program walking through life, floating through life. Awareness of the subject matter, first of all, for me, alcohol, why am I doing that? What's the purpose of it? Is it doing me any good? So I put that in the center of the pyramid and I asked myself 3 questions around that. First of all, do I enjoy it? Now, of course, I'm going to say, a lot of people say, yeah, of course I enjoy it for a few hours. Do you enjoy it? I'm talking as a more overview, generalized view. So first of all, do I enjoy it? Second question, does it add growth? Physical, mental,
no.
Financial?
No.
No. Does it help others? That's a definite cross. I had 3 crosses. Get rid of that. And this is all you need to do. And then you can take that. I mean, I've got an exercise you go through where you actually then start to break down those questions.
And isn't it obviously a lot more powerful as well when you see it there?
What
written down.
What gets written down gets done. And this is the thing. We can't outthink a bad thought. You can sit there and say, I shouldn't be drinking anymore. I really don't want to drink anymore. That's not enough. When you've got such a hard-rooted, wired behavior, you're going to have to meet the emotion with some action. Otherwise, it's just pointless. So really, for me, giving up drinking, you got to really understand why. And let's have a look. Right, breakpoint is also this. It's a disruptive change in habitual behavior in line with a predetermined goal. So when you take the why, you then have to create the goal. Okay, if you've got nothing to anchor on, it's just going to be a detour into discomfort for no reason. So you need to know exactly where you're going. Otherwise, it's pointless.